I've been as a young person in this industry who has no filter and no idea.
An American actress and singer of Colombian and Polish descent.
Nasty. The last part, her words. Who single-handedly actually annoyed everyone so bad they skipped this mess. Well played.
What I would say if I had no taste, Rachel Zegler, oh my god, when are you guys gonna see how much of a powerhouse she is? I love Rachel Zegler so much. I just wanted to let you guys know that I will be sat front and center to see this icon slay Evita. Oh my god, I can't wait. I am gonna see it when it first opens. I already know that.
Picture this, a sold-out West End revival, cameras flashing, critics buzzing, until the lead actress storms off mid-song and the entire cast marches into a closed-door meeting with a chilling ultimatum. Fire her, or we walk. Overnight, Rachel Zegler's supposed career-defining moment flipped into a backstage mutiny so explosive insiders call it the fastest self-destruct in modern theater. Hype tweets vanished, rehearsal schedules were wiped, and an unknown understudy quietly slipped into the spotlight while Zegler disappeared from every call sheet. Was it diva confidence, calculated sabotage, or a full-scale meltdown triggered by mounting backlash? Stick around, because what really happened behind those
And it's lonely. It's very lonely. I just know that if that loneliness can exist, so can other things, and I will be okay.
velvet curtains makes Hollywood feuds look polite, and the next twist could bury a once rising star for good, unless she finds a redemption arc no one sees coming. From the instant producers, whispered Rachel Zegler's name for Eva Peron, trade papers framed it as theatrical destiny. Disney's Golden Ingenue, fresh off blockbuster premieres, viral serenades, and a voice that could bend a chorus into submission, was crossing the Atlantic to command London's most storied stage. Blogs gushed about a modern rebirth of Evita. Ticket sites crashed during pre-sale, and Zegler fanned the flames by tweeting cryptic lyric fragments at dawn, posting mirror selfies in rehearsal blacks at midnight, and promising a feminist, Eva for Gen Z. Industry podcasts debated whether a TikTok-era star might lure younger audiences back to velvet seats, while scalpers bragged that premium tickets had doubled in price by lunch. For a heartbeat, the marketing juggernaut looked unstoppable. The perfect collision of Disney charisma and Broadway gravitas, with producers forecasting record advance sales. Then came the cymbal crash nobody rehearsed. Backlash. Snow White skeptics resurfaced their princess-turned-prima donna compilations. Theater purists insisted a 20-something screen celebrity could never embody Argentina's iron-willed First Lady, and within 72 hours, a petition to save Evita from influencer casting rocketed past 50,000 signatures. Comment sections snarled about nepotism, wokeness, and the death of craft. Tabloids inflated every rumor, tallying angry emojis like box office metrics. Still, the producers doubled down, parading Zegler through photo calls in pearl white power, suits, touting her Colombian-Polish roots as proof she understood revolution. She answered with swagger, captioning rehearsal doors, "My Casa Rosada," teasing new vocal cuts, and promising to humanize Eva beyond the marble statue. Fans applauded the ambition, while old guard critics detected hubris masquerading as heart. Behind the velvet, that bravado was already splintering. Ensemble veterans spotted extra security at stage door arrivals. PR teams held midnight war room sessions, and an uneasy question circulated over paper cup lattes. Could a digital storm topple the show before the overture? Because hype sells tickets until it cracks the foundation. And when the first full company sing-through finally dawned, the cast would learn that earthquakes don't wait for opening night.
Rachel Zegler has finally responded to all the Snow White backlash she's been receiving. And you won't believe this, but she allegedly apologized for her rude comments. She said that it was never her intention to come off as ungrateful after those videos started going viral.
Never wanted to come off as me being ungrateful for the opportunities I have.
And even gave a speech saying how playing the role of Snow White is such a big dream for her, and that she's always been a big fan of Disney. However, just a few weeks ago, she was saying nearly the complete opposite.
I was scared of the original cartoon. I think I watched it once and then I never picked it up again.
And even closes off by saying that she's the most grateful person alive, but she just wants to keep it real.
I am the most grateful person alive, but I'm also keeping it real.
And people in the comments had a lot to say. Many thought that she was just saying sorry because news sources
They start rumbling the moment the conductor raises his baton, angry tremors you can feel backstage. First rehearsal week should have been the honeymoon. Scripts crisp, smiles easy, choreographers tapping out counts like clock hands. Instead, the company was jolted awake by an 11 a.m. entrance that arrived at noon and the first of many icy apologies. Traffic, darlings. Start without me. Musicians retuned. Dancers stretched the same hamstring twice. and the timetable slid 30 minutes that never came back. On day 2, Zegler floated the idea of rewriting half of Buenos Aires to feel less pageant, more uprising. The musical supervisor, whose resume could wallpaper the green room, politely declined. She returned from lunch with a new lyric sheet anyway. By midweek, the costume shop had fielded frantic calls to shorten hemlines, lengthen sleeves, and ditch the pearls. Eva was anti-elitist, each demanding undoing hours of beadwork. The flashpoint came Thursday. During the first full blocking of A New Argentina, the director asked Rachel to shift 2 steps downstairs for sightlines. She froze, eyes hard, then declared for the entire house to hear, "You can't tell me how to play Eva. I am Eva." Silence pooled across the raked floor. The conductor's baton hovered midair. A junior swing muttered, "Hurricane Zegler." The nickname stuck before she reached the corridor. From that moment, veterans swapped shifts to dodge her scenes. The dance captain kept a discreet notebook of timestamps and tirades. A props assistant set his phone to silent video, sliding it beneath a rack of replica military jackets whenever tempers flared. What had once looked like method passion now read as volatility, and every fresh outburst chipped another corner off the show's morale. The revolution she craved on stage was metastasizing behind it, and no one, director, producer, or stagehand, believed management could contain the storm. By week 3, the whispers had grown teeth. Ensemble members who once traded eye rolls now compared notes, building a private paper trail thicker than the script itself. Someone pinned a spreadsheet to the call board, disguised as a props list, where performers logged every late arrival, lyric rewrite, and flung rehearsal chair. The tally mounted: 15 scheduled delays, 9 costume blow-ups, 4 instances of "I am the show" shouted at full incline. In the wings, the dance captain kept her phone filming under a silk shawl, capturing grainy footage of an afternoon when Rachel refused to hit a note and instead scolded the orchestra for playing too obediently. The stage manager, veteran of 3 Sondheim revivals, quietly forwarded those clips to production legal, just in case. Even the normally unflappable prop master began locking breakables after a glass of water became an airborne character choice. Crew chat threads pinged with screenshots every night, a digital bunker protecting them from the morning's inevitable explosion. Offstage alliances formed fast. A swingman who'd done contracts with Equity urged everyone to document everything, for safety. The lighting board op printed spare NDAs he'd saved from a tour with a notorious pop star, sliding them to anyone brave enough to record an outburst. When management posted a new wellness check form outside the green room, performers filled it with sarcasm. Feeling great, unless the hurricane touches down. Each joke strengthened resolve. Every signature on the spreadsheet felt like sandbagging a levee. Yet the real tipping point came with a single rehearsal note. During a pas de deux, Rachel rejected the choreographer's hand placement and barked, "Your male gaze isn't my problem." The remark landed like a slap, echoing through the vaulted hall. A veteran mezzo whispered, "That's it," snapped her score shut and walked out. 10 others followed. The exodus wasn't loud, but the emptiness said everything management had refused to hear. The logs, the footage, the walkout, these were no longer isolated frustrations, they were ammunition. Within 24 hours, a clandestine committee drafted a formal complaint citing unsafe, unproductive, and emotionally volatile conditions. It would reach the producers' inboxes before dawn, but its true destination was deeper. The Yatra'id moment and entire ensemble decided who really owned the spotlight. Monday dawned with the usual promise of progress notes and coffee-stained blocking charts, but the producers walked into the conference room to find a sealed envelope resting on the polished walnut table. Thick, weighty, impossible to ignore. Inside lay 8 typed pages, 27 signatures, and a color-coded spreadsheet cataloging every late entrance, screamed insult, and shattered prop since rehearsals began. The opening sentence cut deeper than any tabloid headline. Company, morale and physical safety are at risk. Rehearsals have become unsafe, unproductive, and entirely centered on one performer's volatility. Before the photocopies cooled, a delegation of 4 cast representatives, 2 principals, the chorus captain, and the veteran mezzo who had led last week's silent walkout, entered with military calm. They offered no pleasantries. "We will not return to the stage until the hostile element is removed," the captain said, sliding Equity's workplace safety clause across the table like a writ of eviction. The producers glanced toward the hallway, half expecting Rachel to burst in with a disarming grin. She didn't. Numbers replaced niceties. Could they terminate their marquee name without detonating months of advertising spend? What would refunds cost? How far did the insurance rider extend? A finance executive murmured pessimistic projections. Legal counsel scribbled phrases like constructive dismissal and force majeure. All the while, the delegation waited in deliberate silence, letting the arithmetic throttle any lingering loyalty to star power. Finally, the artistic director slid his glasses off and sighed. "You're asking us to dismiss our lead," the mezzo replied, each word crystalline. No, we're telling you the cast has already chosen. Keep her, and you, close without us. In that instant, theater's hierarchy inverted. Solidarity over celebrity, craft over clout. The meeting adjourned without an official verdict. But everyone exiting the room understood the binary. Either save the show or save Rachel Zegler. The curtain could not rise on both. Hours after the ultimatum, the production office turned into a triage ward. Phones pinged with frantic Zoom links, agents jammed conference lines, and a labor lawyer leafed through the equity handbook like a medic scanning for loopholes. Under harsh fluorescent lights, someone quipped that the hottest ticket in London was now access to the company's panicked Slack thread. By dusk, a terse notice appeared on the call board. Schedule revisions in progress. Principals on hold until further notice. Between the lines, everyone read the verdict. Rachel Zegler was benched, though no one dared print the word suspended. Next morning, her dressing room lights stayed dark, script untouched, coffee mug gone. A polite email cited health considerations and said she would step back to preserve artistic integrity. Translation: damage control in soft focus. But the rehearsal clock kept ticking, and the crew needed an Eva before the scenery arrived. Enter Sophia Reyes, the standby mentioned only in whispers, called at 7:03 a.m. and asked, "Can you be on stage by 9? She replied with a screenshot of her fully annotated score. From the first downbeat, the shift felt seismic. Reyes belted the 7-bar run in Buenos Aires without flinching, matched choreography mark for mark, then thanked the dance captain for notes. Applause rippled through the wings, unscripted, relieved. Lighting designers recued scenes that had stalled for weeks. The orchestra completed a full run-through before lunch, astonished to clock out on time. Stagehands who had swapped shifts returned, grinning as though the storm had finally passed. For the first time since casting, the production breathed in unison. Producers watched rehearsal monitors and did quiet calculus. Smoother workflows, buoyant morale, and a potential tagline about discovering fresh talent. The cost of refunding a handful of disappointed superfans suddenly seemed cheaper than nightly meltdowns. Yet outside that rehearsal hall, a harsher spotlight was heating up. Social media had noticed Zegler's vanishing act, and the hashtag countdown was already ticking toward 0 hour. Rachel Zegler's social feeds used to hum like a generator. Daily rehearsal selfies, moody quotes about artistic revolution, late-night emoji barrages with her stan army. Then, overnight, everything went black. No tweets, no stories, no TikTok duets. Just a digital dead zone that fans clocked within hours. The first "Where's Rachel" post snagged 10,000 likes. The second threaded a rumor about secret vocal rest. By dinner, theater gossip TikTok accounts were DMing ensemble swings for scraps, and one 8-second backstage clip of Sophia Reyes hitting Eva's final belt scored 2 million views before breakfast. Commenters needed no confirmation. Zegler's outspread faster than promo posters. On X, formerly Twitter, the pile-on mutated into trend warfare. Hashtags Zegler out and Evita Unchained battled justice for Rachel, but the ratio told the story. Retweets siding with the cast outpaced defenses. 4-1. Old interviews where she'd shaded other actresses resurfaced. A clip of her declaring she deserved every streaming dollar racked up 500,000 dunk replies. Even casual observers sensed the schadenfreude. Broadway just gave Hollywood a masterclass in consequences, one pundit wrote. The official Evita account tried a soft pedal strategy, generic rehearsal photos, no cast tags, but silence is loud on the internet. Fans noticed Rachel missing from every carousel, noticed Reyes' silhouette in 3 slides, noticed comments mysteriously vanishing after mentioning the suspension. A theater news podcast leaked an email claiming PR teams were coordinating narrative alignment, which listeners promptly memed into Operation Spin Cycle. Mainstream outlets followed the clicks. Variety teased mutiny on marquee. BBC ran a culture war think piece on Gen Z celeb backlash, and Deadline quietly confirmed lead scheduling conflicts. Each euphemism only sharpened curiosity. Meanwhile, ticket resale sites registered an odd spike. Buyers hunting for opening night sweats after Zegler's departure. Proof that controversy can flip from liability to marketing boon in a single algorithmic heartbeat. By week's end, the internet consensus was brutal but decisive. The show might survive, even thrive, minus its headline star. Zegler's feet remained a black screen, and every hour of silence felt like another nail tapped into a career still, searching for its encore. While hashtags burned across every feed, the entertainment industry took quieter, harder notes. The first tremor hit on May 1st, when the Tony nomination livestream breezed through Best Actress in a Musical, without so much as a polite mention of Rachel Zegler. Insiders claimed her team had lobbied heavily, sending private reels and context letters to voters. It didn't matter. Voters talk, and word of a backstage mutiny travels faster than any highlight reel. Agencies felt the chill next. A mid-budget streaming thriller that once listed Zegler as in final negotiations abruptly swapped her name for an actress from Euphoria. The trade announcement cited scheduling clarity. Translation: No producer wanted to inherit a storm already trending. Even brand deals shied away. A luxury shoe company paused its holiday campaign, whispering that reputational volatility now sat on their risk matrix beside supply chain delays and global pandemic. Studio phones kept ringing, but the questions had flipped. Where Zegler's reps once fielded offers, they now fielded audits. Can you guarantee she'll show on time? Can you guarantee she'll stay off social until wrap? Legal departments drafted clauses nicknamed hurricane riders, spelling out financial penalties for tantrums and time slippage. One veteran casting director confided to Variety that attaching Rachel was like stapling a smoke alarm to your budget. Possible, but everyone keeps flinching for the beep. Meanwhile, Broadway moved on with brisk efficiency. Preview audiences for the revised Evita posted rave TikToks, Reyes's powerhouse vocals, a sharper feminist arc, on-time curtains. Trade critics penciled optimistic early copy comparing the revival to the 1978 original, without once invoking Rachel's surname. The silence was pointed. In theater, erasure can sting worse than scandal. Back in Zegler's camp, the damaged spreadsheets replaced vision boards. Bookings stalled, social growth plateaued, and private emails pondered whether a reflective hiatus might salvage brand value. Because when an industry that thrives on spectacle decides you're too risky to cast, the loudest doors don't slam, they just stop unlocking. What began as a glittering comeback pitch has ended as a cautionary headline. No resume, viral. Fan base or corporate hype machine can outrank the first rule of live theater. Show up, respect the craft, and lift the ensemble. In the silence left by Rachel Zegler's disappearance, a once fractured company rebuilt its morale, unlocked a fiercer, more unified Evita, and proved the spotlight blazes brightest when no one tries to hog it. Tickets may sell out, but the lessons linger. For Zegler, the cost isn't merely a lost role. It's a reputation now staple to every casting conversation. Can we risk a hurricane in rehearsal? For Broadway, the saga reminds producers that star billing buys curiosity, not commitment. And for audiences, it's a front-row view of what happens when egos outrun encores. Where do you stand? Should the producers have cut ties the first time she stamped out? Or did the cast act too harshly? Drop your verdict in the comments. I'm tallying every vote for a follow-up on the power and pitfalls of ensemble solidarity. If you crave more backstage exposés, career implosions, and industry intrigue, the trades won't print fast enough, smash subscribe, ring the bell, and join our growing community of drama detectives. Because in show business, the curtain may fall, but the plot never ends. It just waits in the wings, itching for its next cue.